folks? Welcome to Oxide here for our first match of Group B, the round of 8 of the Alpha X Junior Championship Season 3. Spawning in the top right, our red Protoss player for the 3D clan. This is SlyCrab. And spawning into the bottom left, our blue Zerg, the reigning 2020 Alpha X Junior champion. For Project Hive, this is Ghosti. Oh, I love the hype already. You guys have some beautiful hype going on. And that is just wonderful. Just wonderful. Already SlyCrab is going to open this up with a little bit of silly shenanigans. Now, we know the information that SlyCrab is just pulling some pranks. Seeing if Ghosti might overreact and pull drones off of the mineral line, but not going to be the case. Instead, SlyCrab is just going to go for a very quick nexus into Cyber. This ends up being like the most normal of normal games. That keeps it pretty easy breezy, beautiful, and cover girl. Well, it's all good. Ooh, Ghosti kind of going for an interesting setup here. Building a... Oh, this is actually the Lambo build, isn't it? Where you go for... You don't get the 19 Overlord. You drone up to 21. You build 2 Queens, a drone, and then you build the Overlord. Okay, I like it. SlyCrab opting to go for Twilight Council first. And it's a Twilight Council buried at the back of the base. So Ghosti is going to have a difficult time spotting this, and that is by design. Typically, if you're going to bury it that far back, it's going to be something like a DT rush, but Ghosti's got a free pass into the main base right now. There are no units. Zergling, no. Okay, it's just going to be Glaive Adepts. I mean, this is extra protected for a Glaive Adept timing. But that should not be a major issue here. Ghost is going to do a decent amount of scouting. He's getting his creep spread taken care of, which will be okay. Ghosty typically likes to do mid-game timings that kind of pack a punch. So seeing a Roach Warren go down at the standard time is not going to be a big deal. In fact, it's actually going to go down a little bit early here, 3 minutes and 50 seconds. What has Ghosty seen that might prompt that kind of response? Really nothing. So this could possibly be his own pocket timing, which will end up working out beautifully. The Adept at the front wall is not going to necessarily reveal anything too damning. It's all of the buildings at the backside of the base that will be difficult to confirm. But this is where the goods are, if you will. Okay, Resonating Glaives all finished up here. SlyCrab's going to have his Warp Prism out on the map. And I believe that Ghosti got enough of a scout here to be able to see that coming. He absolutely has it now. And what do we have on the docket here? There are roaches in production. Wait a minute. Ghosti's... Oh, he's just being extra patient. Okay, that's fair. Spore Crawler? I mean, if that were a spine, man, that would be incredibly powerful. Oh, but lots of great pressure already going down here. A good split on the army is going to keep everything pinned all the way back. So Ghosti able to capitalize on this opportunity to shove his opponent back and away. Now on top of it. He should be able to drone at some point. But here come all of the adepts. They are eventually going to try and pile up on the ramp. And that is where they're going to be their most dangerous, being able to whittle away at the units that are trying to attack them and get aggressive. But a nice amount of Zerglings in the main base will keep the warp-ins from happening. Now we do finally see the Spine Crawler there. That is what I like to see. That is what you almost need as a Zerg player. There we go, a nice little full surround here. Those Lings are going to get around the Adept pile, and quite a few of these are going to end up going down. A lot of them get picked off, despite the fact that the exchange advantage should have gone very clearly into SlyCrab's favor. Grabbing 20 of those Zerglings, but trading out 8 of those Adepts is not the kind of exchange you need in this engagement. Ghosti is just going to continue to get further and further ahead. Look at the fact that this third base is still not on the way. SlyCrab intended to really capitalize on this pressure and make a winning push out of it, but instead he's allowed his opponent to be able to continue expanding his economy, getting that fourth base down as well. This is kind of an all-in moment for SlyCrab. He still does not have that third base down just yet. He's going to clean up a fair amount of creep, but that is not going to be enough to really hammer this point home. So now SlyCrab is kind of left scratching his head. This third base location has been scouted out. SlyCrab still doesn't have any options available at that location. Ooh, every second that goes by here is a scary one for SlyCrab. Ghosti's units are only growing in number, and they'll only get stronger. Oh, now finally this third base goes down. Oof. Right. No upgrades either. So just resonating glaives, nothing else behind it. But this is an overwhelming amount here. We now have some immortals to go along with this, but I'm not convinced this is going to be enough. Even with those immortals getting very, very close to the front line, they're going to have to be incredibly careful not to just get picked off. Now there are going to be Banelings added into the mix. The Queens are brought into the fight alongside these Spine Crawlers. The Spine Crawlers will get a decent amount of DPS and allow those Roaches to try and get towards the back wall. The Sentries are going to drop down a few force fields and limit a little bit of the positioning of Baby Ghosti, but he's not really able to push in. He's gotten 2 worker kills, but that's it. That's a painfully low amount compared to what needs to be done here. And those Zerglings are going to try and wrap around once again. Roaches will continue to leapfrog forward here, and it's going to force a exchange on these Warp Prism to juggle them back and forth. He's got to be very, very careful here. Ghosti has overwhelmed his opponent. I don't think that there's a way out of this game for SlyCrab other than a GG timing. The third base is up, but losing your entire army here is going to make the difficult choice back at home to try and hold, or just let the overwhelming Roach Ravager Ling force just beat down your front door. And it seems like he's gonna try, but yeah, where do we expect this to go? There's no options here. Well, there is one option. For the Swarm! Ghosti. Very, very powerful timing. Game number 1 holds his opponent back and doesn't allow him to get crafty with Glaive Adepts. Goes up 1-0 in the series. When you think Ghosti is not practicing, look, I'm just telling you what I know. I know Ghosti's playing a lot of other games, which isn't necessarily bad. Like sometimes you just need the separation time, right? If we do the same thing over and over all the time, we can get burnt out. Creativity starts to wane. But sometimes taking a step back and doing something different can create a positive result. Also, Ghosti's just a really good player. What's a player that did that as of late? Scarlet, actually. I wouldn't say super recently per se, but I know there was like a period of time when she was living in Korea that Scarlet was just playing Dota. And there was a lot of questions brought up at premiere events where like, oh, what's Scarlet doing? Like, she's clearly not prepared. Her playstyle makes it seem like she hasn't really studied the meta. But I mean, she was still doing her own playing individually, just wasn't playing it on stream. She was watching events, she was studying, she was doing everything she needed to do. She was living with her coach and confidant, no regret. And then all of a sudden she just kind of shows up and stomps some nerds. And I mean, spoiler alert here for the next 10 seconds. If you haven't watched DreamHack Summer, she's currently in the playoffs for the season finals. How dope is that? So we do not knock taking breaks for mental health. Love it. All right, quick robotics facility. Very, very quick. This would lead into fast disruptor, I think. Because it's going to be, oh, please. Oh no, Stonker's going to make sure that that doesn't happen. I was like, if he gets the scout off, I mean, you just leave the game. But this should lead into a very quick robotics bay. Yep. And then it will be observer, warp prism, disruptor. I think. And then you get the warp prism upgrade. You just zip that guy around. It becomes so spooky fast. So now the question is going to be, what does Ghosti decide to do on his side of the map? Right now seems to be just a pretty standard macro opening. Nothing too crazy, still building drones. He is not going to have a major scouting opportunity to get to the backside of this base. So it's very possible that he might not see this until it's about right here on the map, because he does have a decent overlord coverage. First indicator that something should be up, though, should be well, actually that's not even that bad of an indicator. It's going to be 4 minutes 30 seconds on the third nexus. It's actually pretty decent timing, all things considered, because now we have the warp prism already out, ready to go. And that warp prism speed upgrade is going to kick in pretty soon here.
Your forces are under attack.
Oh, that was fun. Sounded like a German. Oh, disruptor. Oh no! The drones clumped up. Oh, 11 drones go down. Oh, it hurts. Oh, the pain. The pain inside my soul. A fourth base is already going down. Ghosti should feel pretty confident taking the fourth base. He just needs to find a way to deal with this. Clumping up all his drones is not the way to do it. That was a much better defense. Only losing 2 drones that time around. And he's going to pick up the gold base. Yeah, this is exactly the right choice, I think, by Ghosti. The immediate threat of unit pushing is not there. It's just not existent. So he should be able to drone freely behind this, pick up what he needs. The follow-up, though, he does need to be careful with. Oh. Gosh, that was so many. 13? 13 Zerglings. Oof, 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 oof. So there's going to be Colossi behind this. All right. Overlord is going to spot that. Warp prism speed. 4 drones. And it almost ends up being easier just to avoid trying to micro those, because you run yourself into a position where you accidentally clump everything up and you lose 11 instead of the 4 that happened that time around when he didn't do anything. It's going to be additional Zerglings in the production tab. Melee weapons is on the way. Oh my gosh, this is a hell of a production cycle here. 6 different warp gates being brought in. Okay, SlyCrab going to try and take his luck again in the main, but I think these Zerglings should be in high enough supply that as long as Ghosti is careful about it, he should be able to dodge most of the damage. But yeah, this is an overwhelming amount of Zerglings right now. We saw Dark kind of play this in TSL against opponents like Clem. We just made giant Ling waves and just flooded them at his opponent like it was a Heart of the Swarm mission. Big Stalker warp in here. This could be a scary wraparound. Who does he have back at home? He's got Ravagers. He's going Ravager Ling Bane here as a follow-up composition style, which I don't necessarily hate. This is just going to go for the 3rd base location, and I think that's the right way to do it, especially since there's, what, 3 Adepts there? That's not that much. Picking that last one up is good. +1 melee is now complete, so those Adepts are not going to be as strong, but the defense back here at home is slow and steady for Ghosti. These Zerglings with +1 melee are getting so much damage done here. The Banelings are compiling on in and are going to get a little bit of damage up at the front, but it's a lot of force fields that are out. They're gone now, and those Banelings will find a lot of connections here, getting on top of all of these units, the valuable units. One of the Colossus very, very low, and only 1 Warp Prism to juggle back and forth here. 18 probes get killed off on the opposite side of this engagement as well. Getting the Warp Prism is huge as well. Ghosti cleaning up on his side of the map, and he takes a very quick 2-0 victory over his opponent in the first series of the day. Well played. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Make sure to click the subscribe button so you can catch more of my videos as they are released. If you want more Rushi content, feel free to find me on Twitch and Twitter. Thanks again, and see you in the next video.